After a rocky start in my aesthetic body journey, where I didn't make any progress in the first 3 months, I went to research and to gain knowledge about the topic. And after that, I went 6 days a week for 4-5 months straight, push-pull legs routine without fail. The aesthetic body goal was something that was so important to me and I didn't want it to stop. But then as time goes on and then I'm looking for new opportunities, I'm having fun in other sports, I actually decided to move to Muay Thai. And at the start, I was only training like 1, 2, maybe even 3 times a week, which was very minimal for like 1.5 hours. And then I had the desire to want to get in the ring and to actually fight. So because of that, I actually had to make time to go for trainings, and the bare minimum commitment was 4 times a week for 3-4 hours straight. So you can see like there's a big jump in terms of the commitment that you actually have to make if you want to get in the ring to fight. And then outside of that, I actually have to go and run to like improve my stamina. And then I thought to myself, is it actually worth it to sacrifice going to the gym 6 times a week just to actually fight? Honestly, I didn't want to make that sacrifice, but I know I had to. I then reduced my resistance training to about 4 times a week, and then slowly I reduced it to 2 times a week, which is unheard of for me because I have never went 2 times a week after that 4 to 5 months period. Plus, it would be a bit absurd if I was juggling school, Muay Thai, as well as the gym. If let's say I had school, like the typical 9 to 5 kind of school, and then needing to go to the gym 6 times a week. On top of that, having Muay Thai sessions 4 times a week for 3 hours. I think that's very hard to juggle. So I decided to sacrifice my weightlifting instead, because 4 plus 2 is actually not so bad as compared to like 4 plus 6. And I was afraid that my gains would start to drop and I would become a skinny boy again. If you're a skinny guy and you're sick and tired of being weak and skinny, I will help you build an aesthetic body that actually attracts girls. Click the link in the description right now. So you might be wondering, did I actually lose muscle during that transition from going to the gym 6 days a week to only 2 days a week? Before I give you the answer to that, let me give you a bit of context. The amount of muscle that you lose is depending on the activity that you do throughout the day during those days where you didn't go to the gym as much. For example, if you're totally bed rest for a week straight, let's say you had no activity and you were just in bed all day. Example, if you were like hospitalized or for some reason you just had to stay in your bed for 7 days straight without getting up. You only, like, let's say the shower was beside your bed, you showered and then you had your basic hygiene met, then you actually lose a significant amount of muscle where it's noticeable, which is crazy. And then if you were to do your daily activities like going for a walk with your dog, maybe commuting to school, commuting to work, the difference is actually pretty huge compared to being totally bed rest. I don't know the scientific percentage of how much muscle you actually lose, but I know that the significance between being totally bed rest and having some sort of activity during the days actually makes a lot of difference. And with that in mind, if you think about it, as long as your muscles have some stimulation during the week, it will actually probably maintain itself. I wanted to go extreme in Muay Thai, so I decided to cut down my gym timing even more. I used to go to a gym that was a 2-hour travel back and forth. My workouts usually last about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and then I decided to actually use the condo gym instead. I cut down my workout time to around 45 minutes or even less. And guess what? When I did make that transition, I still look the same. I still maintain the muscle that I had without actually putting in so much time and effort. Of course, my muscles didn't grow per se. I wouldn't say it grew. Maybe it grew like a little bit, but it definitely maintained and I didn't lose a lot of muscle. And I highly recommend for you to do the same, because if you want to go all in an area of life, it's actually beneficial for you to cut down on the gym slightly just to maintain the muscle mass. Because imagine that version of me that was going 6 times a week, trying to go as much as possible to optimize my muscle growth, right? And me trying to do something else, trying to start a business, for example. On top of that, I wouldn't be able to put as much time and effort into actually accelerating in my progress in the business, because I have this commitment of 6 times a week, 2 hours, 3 hours of gym every single day. So the smartest thing and the best thing that you could do is just to put a hold onto your gym and just maintain it like what I did, 2 times a week. And I just target the aesthetic muscles. That's what I did. I did a lot of lateral raise, I did a lot of lat pull downs, and the remaining free time that you free up because of that switch, you can actually put it inside the area of life that you're trying to improve on. It could be studying, trying to get better grades, it could be dating, it could be social skills, it could be whatever, any part of life. You can actually put way more intention into it, and you will see see your progress in that area of life skyrocket because of that. And if you try to juggle both things at once, let's say for example trying to get good grades and going to the gym, trying to make as much progress as possible, you'll just make shallow progress in both, if I were to be honest. Like, it's actually very hard to make progress when you have two big goals at the same time, because your brain is just like, it's not focused on one single line. It's like diverted into two different lines. And the thing is, if you want to make good progress in life, you actually have to go all in, and then when you know the basics and understanding of that topic, you actually can start to slow down and maintain it. That's why I said for like the gym, you can go all in for like 6 months, then you can maintain it after that. It's very easy to maintain, but we know how hard is it to actually start something new. So really think about what you want to do and what you actually want to make progress in. What is something that your mind obsesses? Is it still making progress in the gym, bulking or cutting? Or is it something else where your mind obsesses over, but then you just don't seem to actually want to sacrifice the gym? That could be fear, you know. That could be fear of the unknown, because let's say you wanted to level up your dating skills, and then you have this gym commitment that you're going, trying to gain muscle, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I wanna get girls now. Like, that's the focus that I have right now. But then you push it off. The reason you do that is because us humans, we fear the unknown, and we are afraid of actually starting something new instead of continuing something that is really hard. But the thing is, we are familiar with this thing that we're doing that is hard. So for example, the gym. And if I were to tell you to do something out of your comfort zone, which is to co-approach girls and to actually start making progress in your dating life, there will be so much friction, and you might start to cope and be like, oh no, but then I'm already doing the gym, so I'll just stick to that. Because you're familiar with it, it's not so uncomfortable anymore to actually go to the gym consistently. So if you're not a pussy, you actually choose something and go all in on it. And something that actually helped me, and it could potentially help you, is to journal about it. Journal, what am I actually obsessing over right now? What is my current focus in life? And when you journal that, you actually start to have thoughts about what you actually want, like currently, because it's so easy to get hooked onto something and then sticking with it for a long term because you're familiar with it already. And when your brain and mind, your body wants to do something else and actually to start making progress in something else, it's hard to transition. I'll be honest, it's not easy, but when you do, it's like you live many lives in the span of your whole entire life, which is so nice. Like for me, I had 1.5 years, almost 2 years, that phase of doing Muay Thai, right? And I stopped already. I had 4 fights, and the last one was a pro fight, which is something that I'm proud of. I've stopped because like I just didn't have the desire to fight anymore, and I didn't want to like hurt myself even more, so I stopped. And then now I'm working on my business, trying to help more people, help skinny guys achieve their dream body. And if I didn't sacrifice Muay Thai, I probably wouldn't be uploading daily right now. Honestly, I would still have to go for training 4 times a week for 3 hours, and that's so mentally and physically draining. Once again, for my skinny guys, imagine taking off your shirt at the beach, and then you notice every girl in your vicinity turn their heads towards you because of how attractive you are, of how amazing your body is. That is what you get when you click the link in the description below. And the best part is, if you're not satisfied with the results, you get a full money back guarantee, no questions asked. Thanks for watching.